Game 3 between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces wasn't basketball. It was daylight robbery on a national stage. The Fever were leading, fighting and clawing for every inch, only to have the game ripped from their hands by a storm of whistles. One moment, the Fever were dictating the pace. The next, the Aces were suddenly standing at the foul line, while A'ja Wilson threw elbows like she was in a boxing match. And when Aaliyah Boston tried to challenge an obvious missed call, the officials simply ignored her. Fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse erupted in disbelief. Social media exploded in outrage. And the box score told the truth that couldn't be denied. Las Vegas didn't win that game. They were handed it. The tragedy of the night wasn't just the officiating. It was that the chaos overshadowed Lexie Hull's gritty, career-defining performance, the kind that should have gone down as one of Indiana's great playoff moments. But instead of celebrating her toughness and heart, the conversation turned to the league's credibility. Do you think the Fever can bounce back? If yes, then comment, "Let's go Fever." From the very beginning of this series, it's been clear the Fever weren't just battling the Aces, they were battling the officials too. The pattern started in Game 1, when Vegas couldn't get their offense going and resorted to leaning on the free throw line to stay alive. Indiana's defense was physical but clean, their rotations crisp, yet somehow every possession ended with an Aces player shooting freebies. Meanwhile, Vegas defenders could body up, shove, and hack without consequence. It set a tone that carried into Game 2, where the whistle became the Aces' most reliable weapon. Stephanie White saw it for what it was. In her post-game interview, frustration seeped through every word as she explained how impossible it was to find rhythm when fouls were called every 10 seconds. The Fever couldn't get up and down the floor, couldn't run their sets, couldn't breathe without a whistle stopping play. She wasn't making excuses, she was describing a nightmare every coach dreads. By Game 3, that nightmare had turned into something uglier. In the third quarter, with Indiana leading and momentum firmly on their side, Aaliyah Boston was whistled for a questionable foul on Jackie Young. White immediately signaled for a challenge. The bench was ready, but the officials simply ignored her request. Moments later, Chelsea Gray drained a three-pointer, swinging the momentum completely. Just like that, the crowd's energy flipped from electricity to disbelief. The Fever's lead vanished not because of execution or strategy, but because the officials refused to acknowledge a coach's right to review. Fans inside Gainbridge lost it, waving arms and shouting as if sheer volume could force accountability. Clips of the moment flooded social media within minutes. Analysts broke it down frame by frame, showing a pattern that couldn't be explained away as human error. A'ja Wilson pushing off defenders. Obvious contact ignored when it came from Vegas. Phantom fouls called against Indiana on plays where there wasn't even a touch. It wasn't oversight anymore. It looked like favoritism. Watch closely and the imbalance becomes undeniable. Wilson could lower her shoulder into Boston like a running back. No call. Fever defenders would stand their ground, only to be whistled for the smallest movements. Every time Indiana tried to build rhythm, a whistle shattered it. Offense became survival, and survival became an uphill climb against not one, but two opponents, the Aces and the officiating crew. Yet through all that, Lexie Hull refused to let the night be defined by injustice alone. Coming off a painful back injury from Game 1, she was questionable to even suit up. Her warm-ups looked stiff, her movement uncertain, and her role seemed limited to short bursts of energy. But once the game began, something flipped. Hull wasn't just another player fighting through pain, she became the Fever's heartbeat. She threw herself into every rebound, fought for every loose ball, and still found the legs to hit 3 clutch three-pointers. She finished with 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal, numbers that would impress even the healthiest player. But it wasn't the stats that defined her night. It was the grit behind them. Each shot she hit came when the Fever were gasping for life, each rebound a message that Indiana wasn't giving up. At one point, cameras caught her grimacing after diving to the floor, clutching her back, then moments later sprinting down court to contest a layup. That kind of effort ignited Gainbridge. Fans rose to their feet every time she touched the ball, knowing they were witnessing something rare, a player giving everything she had, even when her body was screaming for relief. Hull's performance deserved headlines, highlight reels, and praise. Instead, it was buried beneath talk of officiating blunders and controversy. It was the perfect metaphor for the Fever's entire season. Overlooked, underestimated, and constantly battling forces beyond their control. On the other side, the Aces' supposed superstar couldn't buy a basket. A'ja Wilson, the league's reigning MVP, started the game with a confident three-pointer and then went ice cold. By halftime, she was an unthinkable 1 for 11 from the field. She finished just 6 for 20 with 13 points, a shooting line that would get most starters benched. Boston locked her up possession after possession, forcing tough, contested jumpers and denying her the paint entirely. But even with Wilson bricking shots and sulking through defensive sets, the Aces never paid the price. Every time Indiana tried to extend their lead, the whistle blew. Every time the Fever gained momentum, Vegas found themselves at the line again. Fans couldn't help but notice the pattern. Calls didn't just influence the outcome, they determined it. Meanwhile, Becky Hammon complained post-game that Wilson only shot 1 free throw in 38 minutes, ignoring that Vegas had dominated the foul line all series. The irony was staggering. When a team spends 3 games living off officiating generosity, claiming victimhood afterward isn't just tone-deaf, it's insulting. The truth is simple. Indiana outplayed Las Vegas. They neutralized the MVP. They executed their game plan. And they still lost because the system tilted against them. That's not competition. That's control. Now all eyes turn to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for Game 4, where Indiana's season hangs by a thread. Down 2-1, banged up and battered, they face not just elimination, but the weight of a narrative poisoned by unfairness. For the Fever, this game isn't just about survival. It's about reclaiming their story. Becky Hammon has already started playing mind games, hinting that the officiating might favor the home team this time. The irony couldn't be thicker. After 3 straight games of Vegas-friendly whistles, now the defending champs are suddenly worried about fairness? It's a desperate move, a way to plant seeds before the game even tips off. But inside Gainbridge, there will be no sympathy. 17,000 fans are expected to pack the arena, each one ready to roar for every rebound, every basket, every whistle that finally goes the right way. If Indiana wants to stay alive, the blueprint is clear. Push the tempo early, feed Boston inside, and force Wilson to defend without bailout calls. Get Kelsey Mitchell going again after her off night. Let Hull's energy set the tone like it did in Game 3. Vegas has cracks. Wilson's confidence is shaken, Jackie Young is carrying too heavy a load, and their bench hasn't been tested in a hostile environment like this. This isn't just about winning a basketball game anymore. It's about sending a message to the league, to the officials, and to every fan watching that heart, grit, and fairness still matter. The Fever didn't lose Game 3, they had it stolen. Now they have one last chance to take it back. So here's the question. Can Indiana flip the script and force a Game 5? Can they rise above the bias, the whistles, and the doubt? If you believe they can, comment "Let's Go Fever" down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on your screen and we'll see you in the next one.